Leafs Nation. This is one of those updates that really makes you feel the direction this team might be heading. Victor here, and if you've been following this season closely, you know we're sitting in that uncomfortable middle ground again. Not fully out of it, but not exactly secure either. And now we're hearing that the Leafs are reportedly asking for a first-round pick in return for Bobby McMann if they decide to sell at the deadline. That's not a small rumor. That's a signal. Because when you start putting a first-round price tag on one of your most productive depth forwards, it tells you the front office is seriously evaluating every option. Before we break this down, quick favor. If you're part of Leafs Nation and you like honest, real talk about this team, hit that like button and subscribe. We're pushing towards 600 subscribers, and every single one of you helps this channel grow. All right, let's talk about what this really means. So here's the situation. According to Elliotte Friedman in 32 Thoughts, the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for a first-round pick for Bobby McMann if they move him before the March 6 trade deadline. And honestly, I get it. McMann has quietly become one of the more intriguing trade chips on this roster. He's big, he's fast, he can score, and he's on an expiring deal, which makes him even more attractive to contenders looking for depth and speed for a playoff run. But asking for a first-rounder? That's ambitious. Friedman even pointed out the challenge. A lot of contenders have already traded their first-round picks. Colorado, Dallas, Edmonton, Minnesota, Vegas, they've already dealt theirs. Ottawa doesn't have one either. Carolina traded theirs but got another one back. So the market is tighter than usual. Now, as a Leafs fan, I see both sides here. On one hand, if you're going to sell, you sell high. McMann has value. He's physical, he skates well, and he's been effective. Why settle for less if you don't have to? Setting the bar at a first-round pick makes sense strategically. It establishes leverage. On the other hand, we've been on the opposite side of this. We've seen Toronto overpay at deadlines because they felt pressure to push. So I understand why fans are skeptical. A first-rounder is serious capital. The Oilers have been linked to McMann, but they don't even have a first-round pick until next year. That complicates things. So if Edmonton is the most serious suitor, Brad Treliving might have to pivot. And that's where alternatives come in. A comparable deal mentioned was Kiefer Sherwood, who brought back 2 second-round picks. That kind of return could still be strong value. 2 seconds can give you flexibility at the draft or packaged in another move later. There's also talk that creative packages could be explored, potentially including players looking for a fresh start. But the core idea here is simple. If the Leafs struggle out of the Olympic break, McMann becomes one of the top assets to flip. And this is where the emotional part kicks in. Because as fans, we like McMann. He's not a superstar, but he's a grinder. He brings energy. He's been part of the identity shift under Berube. Moving him wouldn't be easy emotionally, but it would be logical if the organization chooses a retool over a risky playoff push. That's the crossroads again. Do you hold on to expiring assets and gamble, or do you cash in while the value is high? So, what does this really tell us? To me, it says the front office is being realistic. They're not panicking, but they're preparing. They're evaluating value. They're setting prices. They're making sure if they pivot, they maximize return. And honestly, that might be the mature move. This team has been aggressive buyers in recent years. Maybe this time, the smarter play is to sell high and reset the balance a little bit. As a fan, it's hard. You always want to believe there's one more run in this group. But if the results don't back that up, then flipping a player like McMann for real future capital could help stabilize the franchise long-term. It feels decisive, it feels calculated, and depending on how they come out of the break, this could be one of the first dominoes to fall. Now I want to hear from you. If you're Brad Treliving, are you holding firm on that first-round pick? Or are you taking the best offer available? And do you even want them selling at all? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk it out like real Leafs fans. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. We're working hard to reach 600 subscribers, and your support truly makes a difference. This is Victor, and no matter what direction they choose, we're riding it out together. Go Leafs go!